Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about ways that you can stay strong after you have walked away from someone that you love. So this could be someone that you've recently had a breakup with, it could be an ex, or it could be, someone perhaps that you have really had a big crush on. And you've just realized that perhaps things aren't going to work out because they've put you in friend zone or they just haven't displayed any interest in you, and you've decided now to walk away, perhaps in hopes that they will be reattracted to you, or you're just doing it because of self-respect. Now, obviously, emotions are very complicated in human beings. We are very complex creatures. So sometimes, if we're feeling a bit low, depending on our mood, depending on what's happened to us that day, sometimes it may bring about a moment of weakness where you feel like you want to reach out to them and speak to them. So basically, how can you stay strong on these, weaker days? Because we're all human beings, we will have better days than others. So how can you stay strong, basically, in these kinds of situations where you are having a moment of weakness? So one of the best ways, obviously, is to find a way to distract yourself. It could be distracting yourself through work. It could be just having a day out with some friends or some family. It could be working on a project. It could be just going to work and perhaps staying there a few extra hours, seeing if there's any overtime available so you don't have the urge to reach out to them. I think something as well that really helps is if you don't, if in those days of weaknesses and you feel kind of emotional, to not, drink or do anything that could lower your inhibitions, because sometimes you, when you're drunk or when you're under some kind of substance, then sometimes you can have basically really big moments of weakness where you're not even realizing what you're doing. So you want to make sure that you stay in control basically of your own mind and your own actions. And I think another thing that can help as well is to avoid wallowing in whatever you're feeling. So this is something that I used to do a lot when I was a teenager, and I would just listen to like really sad songs or like overly romantic songs that reminded me of my crushes, and it made me basically feel like, it made me have this moment of weakness where I reached out or I did something really stupid, like calling them up in the middle of the night and seeing, if I could change things, stuff like that. And it's all about, because I just wallowed in whatever I was feeling, I would like put music on to make my feelings more intense. I'd watch a romantic movie, or I would just like obsess and like stare at their photos that I had on my like phone and stuff like that we're taken together, or something, along those lines. I would just obsess and and carry on with that state. So the moment you start to feel like you're in a moment of weakness, don't dwell in it. Don't wallow in it. Don't, turn off your, log out of Spotify, log out of YouTube, whatever it is that you're doing that helps you wallow in it. Or it could be the case that you just put your phone in a drawer and you go and do something else with someone else for a while. Or just do something. It could be just doing something, a hobby that you really love. Distracting yourself is really, really important. I think another thing that can really help when you are trying to stay strong once you've walked away, once you've gone into no contact, is having a better mindset about the whole situation. Because I feel like I definitely experienced this, so I'm not judging anyone who had this kind of mindset. But when things would happen to me like that, having a breakup, or a crush that I had didn't like me back or something like that, then I would get so self-defeating on myself, like, oh my god, why does this stuff always happen to me? Why do I always get my heart broken? Even though, it may feel really bad and it may feel like that's true at the moment, what I've discovered as, growing up and, at the age that I am now, which I'm 30 now, and I've been married for over a year now, and having all these different experiences when I was a teenager and when I was in my early 20s, when I was still dating and doing things like that, what I discovered is these heartbreaks, these things that made me feel horrible, that made me think, why does this stuff always happen to me? Why is life always so cruel to me? Why is life always so unfair to me? Those events that really sucked, actually, even though they hurt in the moment, actually taught me valuable lessons down the road. Now, it took, maybe some of those experiences took a while for me to learn the lesson, and sometimes I learned the lesson instantly, right? So But when I looked back on it, like from where I am now, and even like a few years back, even before I met my wife, there was experiences that I looked back on and thought, oh yeah, this was the reason why that happened. This led me to this, which has made my life so much better. Like, I went through so many heartbreaks and so many difficult situations that it led me to want to search out answers, kind of like what you're doing now when you're watching this video. If you've just found this video, then you've searched for it. Or if you've been following me for a while, you know, I can guarantee that you're probably one of these people that are, you know, willing to find answers and find the answers to things. And and then you realize that once you've got it, once you learnt these things, you look back on that situation and thought, oh, the reason why I had to go through this was because it led me to this piece of information that made me feel so much better and made me have a better mindset about it. And what I've realized now is that I'm way more stronger than what I realized. And whatever happened to me was actually meant to happen because now I'm at such a better place. I'm at a better mindset. I don't feel so self-defeating. I'm not whining about my life anymore, or whatever it may be. Now, I'm not saying that my information can offer that, although I like to think that I'm trying to do that. It could be, this video could lead you to a different video that could give you the piece of information that you're wanting. You know, it could be, you know, it's one of the people that is recommended after this video or in the recommendations. You know, it could be the next piece of information you find could be the information that could change your life. You know, either you find it in my videos or you'll find it in someone else's. All that matters is that you went on a search to find out the answers and you found something and hopefully it made you feel better. And then you realize that, oh my God, if I didn't go through that pain, I would never know what I know now. Okay? And what you've got, you know, because a lot of people think life is just happening to them, like it's just an array of like different circumstances that happens. It's kind of, life is kind of random and it's kind of nonsensical and it kind of doesn't make sense and it's all this suffering and stuff like that. But what I've discovered is, although life mostly is, you know, difficult challenges and trials, if you go through it and you don't let it defeat you, it can make you stronger in the end, right? And life, you know, one of my big beliefs is life doesn't happen to you, like these random events, these random heartbreaking events and challenges, but actually life is happening for you to teach you lessons. Because the reason why a lot of people get mopey in their teenage years and in their adolescence and they're like going, oh, life is unfair and things like that, is because they think things are just happening to them, right? And they don't see the deeper meaning behind it because for whatever reason they haven't been taught those kinds of things, they haven't been taught that kind of mindset, or they're just too young to actually think in a way that's productive and that's actually going to help them, right? So the reason why a lot of people think that, and especially when they're a teenager, is because they think these things are just happening by chance. They think all these events are just happening by chance. But what's really happening is that these experiences are things that you need to go through and you need to learn from, so you know what to do in the future, and you can look out for the red flags about these certain events, whether they're breakups or it's job failures or it's friendship failures, whatever it is. And then you realize, okay, so this is what happened. When this happens to me again in the future, I'm going to do this instead, right? And it's kind of living from that place and understanding that these things that are happening to me, even if they suck right now and they're really painful, it's probably going to show me something in the future. It's probably going to lead me to a piece of information that's going to make me learn the lesson from it, basically, and make me feel better about myself, right? And having that mindset is one of the game changers that is going to make it so easy for you to stay strong when you walk away from someone, right? Because you realize that, hey, if they're coming back, that's great. But if they're not coming back, that's also great. That's what's just meant to be, right? And the reason why that's good if they don't come back, because you might be watching this and thinking, no, I want them back. The reason why I walked away was because I want them back. It's going to be awful if they don't come back. But the thing is that if they don't come back, then that leaves the space in your life for someone new to come in, someone better to come in, right? And what you got to realize is that if you walk away and you don't contact this person anymore, no matter whoever they are, right? If you don't talk to them again, if you leave their life, if they care about you, if they love you, they will start pursuing you. They will start reaching out to you. They will start contacting you. And if they don't, then you've got your answer that you don't want that person in your life if they are not willing to put in the effort. So you want to find, because that's why it's good that if this person doesn't come, it's good, and why it's good if they do come back. But the reason why it's good if they don't come back is because it opens up that window into your life for someone new to come in who is going to put in the effort, who does care about you, who does love you, who does appreciate you, who isn't going to play mind games with you, who isn't going to be a douchebag to you, whatever it is, what you're going through. You know, you're going to find someone way better. And of course, it doesn't sometimes feel like that in the moment because you're just going through all these emotions and you feel really awful about the breakup. You didn't want it to happen. You didn't want to get rejected by them, whatever it is. So that's why it hurts right now. But if you just think, okay, maybe in just a while, I'm going to realize that perhaps this was the best thing for me. So thank you so much for watching. If you would like to get in touch with me personally, then you can go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you guys again very soon. Bye guys, take care.